Well, hello everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. The time is just a couple minutes before the top of the hour. I want to thank you for attending Figures iCamp, and we'd like to let you know that we're going to begin very promptly for you in about 2 minutes. Thanks for being with us. And a final shout out to Carol from Clinton, Mississippi. Thanks for being with us. The iCamp is going to begin in less than a minute. Thank you so much for being with us. Hello everybody, how are you? It's exactly the top of the hour and we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the Figure iCamp. My name is Andy Callister. I'm Director of Training at GoFigure. It is my pleasure to be with you for up to an hour. We're probably going to finish a little earlier than that. We always like to allow some time for question and answer also. You know, as we move into this time of year here, we're September the 15th today, exactly halfway, and with little more than 2 months remaining in the year. I know this is a time that a lot of you start thinking and planning for the year ahead, and I know that there are a lot of tough decisions ahead, especially if you're a small business owner. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough couple of years, some tough economic times. And I know that maybe some of the questions that some of you are thinking about at this time include, what am I going to do with my business next year? Am I going to stay open? Am I going to close? Am I going to sell? And if you are planning on staying open and continuing your business, how do I increase my business? How do I overcome tough times? How do I increase sales, memberships, and so forth? So also around this time of year, and coincidentally with the time frame, we know that a lot of you who are part of franchise operations, and we are very fortunate to count among our client base several large franchises, and we do appreciate the opportunity to serve all of you. We know it's convention time for several of these franchises, and as you all start to head off to your conventions in different parts of the country for the various franchises that you might be a part of, we know that there are options that are available to you there also potentially. Some of you may be thinking of cost-saving measures such as switching software, abandoning software, doing things by pencil and paper. We've even heard of that. So it's tough times. There's some serious questions, and we know that there's issues ahead. So we would like to take today's iCamp and really focus on some of the powerful features that are in iGoFigure to help you in a few areas. Number one, if you are staying open, and I certainly hope that you do, and I wish you all the success in the world with your business, and you stay with the iGoFigure system, and again, we certainly hope that you do that, we would like to show you some of the incredibly powerful, useful features in the software very quickly. Some of you may have never seen before, some might be a review that are really going to help you do better business, stay in business, be more profitable, make more money. And the software helps you do this by helping you to improve customer service, member relations. There's a lot of powerful things that the iGoFigure system is going to do for you. We're going to cover several of these. Now, if any of you are thinking about switching software, either because you're thinking, oh, you know what, maybe I can just save a little money and manage my membership base in Excel, or do it paper and pencil, or maybe you've been shopping around for some other software. We would also like to go over with you again real quickly some of the very high-level features that you might be losing if you leave the iGoFigure system. We're always happy to have you back as a customer if you ever do decide to leave, but we'd like to show you some of these features so that you can be prepared in advance as you shop around potentially for other solutions to see how do things stack up against iGoFigure. Are you really going to be getting your money's worth out of anything else, and is it worth the cost savings? And of course, that's a decision only you can make, so let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be my pleasure to show you some of the really neat, powerful features in iGoFigure. I hope to give you good information upon which you can make solid, reliable decisions in the next few months. I also hope to give you some great information that's going to help you to better run your business using the iGoFigure software. Before I jump into the actual things that I would like to teach you today, I would like to give you a quick reminder that we are live on the air here today. So I'd like to ask all of you, if you are in your business, to please be very quiet. Try not to let audible comments get on here. I'm kidding, folks. You're all muted. Don't worry, we're not hearing anything that you're saying. However, we can see you, not you personally, but we can see comments that you type to us. There is a question and answer feature. If you look on your webinar control at the upper portion of your screen, there should be a place that says, type a question for staff here. When you enter either a comment or a question or anything else and click on send, we are going to be able to see it live on the air here. I'm going to be able to see it. We have a moderator standing by, and one way or another, we are going to get you an answer to your questions, whether the moderator types you an answer back live as we're speaking, or whether I address it here on air. If you ask a question that a lot of other people are asking about, we'll go ahead and cover it live on the air. Or at the very least, you will receive a reply to every question and comment you enter during this session by email afterward if we're not able to get to it on the air. So, and already Cindy is saying, thank you very much. You guys are great. Have always been with you. Will always be with you. Never thinking of leaving. Cindy, thank you very much for the comments and feedback like that. So you can disconnect now. No, please don't. Actually, Cindy, I hope you could use some very good advice and suggestions. A few things. Cindy said, no way am I leaving. Okay, good. So let's get into it. Folks, the very first thing I'd like to show you today that's a very neat feature in the software that can directly help you is the member custom sign-in language. So it's a very small feature. It's been in iGoFigure for a while. Not a lot of people know about it. So let me show it to you very quickly and show you how it can really improve customer service. Perhaps I'm going to give you a specific example of how it can help you directly, immediately boost your membership page. Ready? Let's take a look. I'm going to jump here into member records in my iGoFigure system. This is just a sample training database with all made-up information. Take a look here. We have a member named Cindy Hernandez. Let's go to her record, and there she is. And as you might have been able to guess from her surname, English is not her native language, let's say, in this example. She speaks Spanish. Spanish was her first language. And she does speak English, but Spanish happens to be her native tongue. Take a look at what we can do in the iGoFigure system. I can come over here to Cindy's record, click on the Personal tab, click on Edit, and you'll notice that there's something here called Language Preference. I'm setting the language preference specifically for Cindy. I'm not setting the overall language preference for every member or for the entire software. You can customize the language for every single member individually. So I'm going to click here, and you'll notice a big list comes up. I won't go through it in detail. I'll come back in a second because I want to show you the number of different choices. And I will set this to Spanish. Simple as that, and click on Save. Take a look at what happens as a result of this one simple change that took us 30 seconds or so to do, 10 seconds if I wanted to narrate it. Every time that Cindy scans in from this instant forward, the member welcome screen, which is the one that sits on the other monitor, which welcomes members as they scan in, probably remember the screen over here, is going to greet Cindy in her native tongue, meaning when it says, hello, Cindy, it will now say hola or bonjour or whatever language you would set there, Cindy. It will give her all of her system pre-programmed messages. John was saying, you've got to be kidding, I didn't know the system does that. You know, every time I explain this feature, we get at least a few people who are like, wow, this is neat, they've never seen this before. Every time that the member gets a system-generated message, please see the manager, your account is on hold, it was an invalid scan, and any of the system messages, they're all automatically translated in Spanish. Anytime Cindy gets any printed documentation from the iGoFigure system, an invoice, a receipt, a weight loss report, all of these things are in Spanish. Now, let's take a look at the number of different languages that are programmed into the system as of right now. I'm not going to bother reading each one of these to you. I'm just going to scan through the list here slowly. And as you can see, there's quite a few languages. Some of these have special characters, like Thai, for example. I'm sure a lot of you know has special characters. And Greek certainly uses the Greek alphabet. Those special characters and symbols will also appear on the screen and on the report. So this is a very powerful feature that can really help enhance customer service. I'll give you a real quick example just to put it in practical terms to show you. We had a very large client who was part of a franchise operation in the northeastern part of the United States, and they had a large local Greek population. And despite consistent and persistent efforts, they were really never able to make much inroads into the Greek community. I think they got 1 or 2 or 3 members to join, and that was about it. Well, when this feature came out in the software, the first thing that this client in the Northeast did was they went through, and for those customers of theirs whom they knew, and they knew that they happened to speak a certain tongue, they went and set language preference in their member records about language. And of course, there are 2 Greek ladies. They set language preference to Greek. Next day, both of those ladies, they were friends, came in together for their workout. One had a weigh and measure day that day. So they scanned in, and the system greeted them in Greek. And the owner who was relating the story to us said, you should have seen the look on their face. The second one scanned in. She was welcomed in Greek, and of course she got the system-generated message saying, don't forget today is your weigh and measure day. And that was in Greek. Both of them were just elated. And after the second lady did her workout, received her weigh and measurement, and got the report, it was in Greek. She must have gone home that night and showed all the people, her friends, family, and everything else. Within a month, I forget the actual number, but it's achieved significant membership increase from among the local Greek community. And it just goes to stress the point, you know, a lot of times with ethnic groups, sometimes people might regard them as closed or standoffish, and that's not the case whatsoever. it might just be a language barrier. You never know. Maybe they just don't speak English so well, and they're just a little bit nervous of going outside of their local community there or mingling too much with just the general public where they might not be understood. Now, granted, you probably don't speak Greek and you're not going to learn every language, but just a simple thing like that where the computer's greeting them in their native tongue, their invoices and receipts are in their native tongue, the weigh and measure report is in their native tongue, it makes your business a place where they feel comfortable. And that can be the big difference in today's economy. Do they go to you or do they go to a competitor? And on the other hand, do they cancel their membership? Okay, let's go on and cover a few other features now. The next thing I'd like to show you is the customizable welcome screen. Now, we covered the welcome screen a little bit. You see it right here. This is the screen that faces the members as they scan in. And of course, as a business owner, you're probably already thinking, opportunity. Can I advertise here? Can I display something here? Can I use the screen to my advantage besides just advertising the fact that you use iGo member and customer management software at your business? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Let's take a look at how that works. What we're going to do is jump over here to the sign-in screen options, button number 14 from the main menu. Don't worry about writing down step-by-step instructions as I go through this. I'm going to refer you at the end of this iCamp to training where you can get detailed step-by-step instructions on how to do everything that I've shown you in this iCamp. So what we would do here is go to the background tab, and you see that here is our current background. You just saw a moment ago. Let's look at it again. Here it is, the iGo generic member and customer management software display screen. But in addition to that, take a look at the number of different backgrounds that we've set here. Beach yoga. Hey, you know, especially if you just started offering yoga at your facility, this might be a really nice background to use. Here's a really nice abstract one, purple lights. There's a surfer. Great if a lot of your members are sports, or into the sports aspect of things. And here again, some pretty abstract ones. Okay, we have a lot of different backgrounds for you to choose from. But the important point that I would like to stress is that if you click here on Browse, you can upload your own image. Let's take a look at what that means and what that does. I click here on Browse, and let's take a look in the Pictures library where I store all my pictures. And look here, I have a picture that I took of my health club with a digital camera. I just went inside my facility, and you probably see very standard generic, you know, just some racks and some weights, let's say. And it shows a very generic picture here. Just for sake of illustration, I'll click on Save and take a look at what happens. Within about 30 seconds, we can probably actually watch this change. There, you see that? Our background is now the exactly the picture which we just put in here. And this is what members are going to see until they scan their key tag, at which point it's going to pop up with the standard information. Now, here's how we suggest that you get creative and use this to your advantage. Take a digital camera, step outside your front door, look back at your business, and take a picture. And make that the background picture. Change things up. I don't know what background screen your members have been looking at for the last however long as they've been a member at your facility. But change things up. Have them come in tomorrow and it'd be a fresh screen, and I'll recognize your facility. Keep that up there for a week. See how it just lifts people to see something new, something different, something recognizable, comfortable, and pretty on the screen when they scan in. I'll tell you, it makes a difference. After having that up for a week, go to the inside, like I did in this example here of your facility. Take a picture, not just machines, all right? When you do your own facility, take a picture of some of your members, the ones who are always in there, everybody knows, happy, on the machines, working out. Use that as your background image for a week. Now you change things up again, but it's still familiar, comfortable, you're creating a sense of community. On the third week, I want you to take a picture of a member, a special member. It's up to you what qualifies as special. It could be the most popular member, the one who lost the most weight last month, the one who attended the most number of times in the last month, the one who met their goals the closest. Whatever you would like, take a full screen picture of a member. It obviously needs to be widescreen, match this here, right? With a big smile on her face or his or her face, working out or just at your front counter or something, and maybe even put a quote on member of the month or member of the day or the week or whatever. Put that up. Start to recognize members. See how many members come up to you and say, hey, what does it take to get my picture on there next week or next month? They will like it. Members will start to become involved. They will start to come back. These are all little features that we built into the iGo system over the years. We're getting way too many comments to read on the air now, but apparently a lot of you are liking what you're seeing. Some of you are seeing this stuff for the first time, and some of the comments have been really nice that you've seen this before, and it's just kind of slipped out of your top-of-the-mind awareness, and you've gone months without using them, and you really regret that. So we've got a few people say that on our comments so far. So very happy to remind you guys of this stuff. If you're seeing it for the first time, it really does work. Please take advantage of the full power of your iGo system to help your business. Let's look at a few more things unless anybody has any specific questions. This is flattering, but most of the comments we're getting in right now is people telling us how great a lot of this stuff is. Don't worry, there's more to come. If you have any questions, if there's anything in particular you'd like to know about what I'm showing you or anything else, please feel free to type in questions. Mark is asking, when does version 3.9 come out? Love everything you guys have been doing. Well, I'll say we've got plans. in the works to upgrade. I'm not going to give you specifics as to whether it's going to be 3.9 or when it's coming out, but I'm going to tell you got some very exciting things. 3.9 is going to seem tame when you hear what we have in the plans in the coming months. So thanks for the question, and we're definitely still upgrading the software with many new releases with more powerful features to come, and all of them are absolutely at no charge. Okay, a few other quick features here. We're about a quarter after the hour, so I'd like to say we're about a third of the way through. I'm going to try to wrap up in a quarter of leave 10 to 15 minutes at the end in case there's any last-minute questions, and if not, we're going to wrap up 15 minutes, or we'll be respectful of your time and let you go on with your day. So let's take a look at custom member messages. Again, I'm going to jump here to member records, and let's choose another member at random here. Let's say Anna Appleton, and let's say that Anna just joined. She's a brand new member. Over here on the Messages tab, you'll see that somebody's already left Anna a message. You forgot your gym bag here yesterday. Let's just say that she's already picked up her gym bag, and what we'd like to do now is type a message like, "It's great to have you as a new member. Please let us know," etc. I will keep typing here, but please let us know if there's ever anything we can do for you. Really nice message. Elect to show this, and of course you can show it between any two given dates. So, show it for the first whole week that she's been a member, or the first 10 days, or 2 weeks, or whatever you would like. How nice would it be if every new member who joined your facility got a personal message every time they scanned in? This is the message that Anna's going to see in the personal scan-in space on the member welcome screen every time she scans in. And the more personal that you make this message, the better. Let's say you find out something personal about Anna when she first joins, like she just moved here from California because her husband got a major promotion and transfer on his job. So you might leave a message that says, "It's a long way from California. We all welcome you to Texas," or wherever you happen to be, "with open arms." How nice of a personalized message is that to receive when you just joined a new facility? Use the Messages tab here on the member's record to leave a custom signed-in message frequently. Anytime you learn of a new situation of a member, her husband is in the military, he just shipped off to the Middle East, leave a little message. Tell her that you all are thinking about her and wish her the best. You just find out that somebody had the birth of their first grandkid. Anything you find out, you could go through and set up a custom message to acknowledge that. Likewise, you don't need to leave a full-blown message for the member in order to gain personal information about a member and use that to your advantage. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I just click here on the General tab, I can add a note. All right, so let's say I wanted to add a more private note. For example, husband is in military, was just injured in Middle East. Everything okay, but tell her we're thinking of her. All right, leave that note in there. It's not something, that's a bit of private. You don't want every time she scans in for the people behind her to see, "Oh, we're all thinking of you and your injured husband over in the military in Iraq right now." I'd like a little bit of something more private. So just put a note in here in her member record. Obviously, you're not going to see it every single time that she scans in. Obviously, probably wouldn't be appropriate to mention every single time. But anytime you need to go to a member record to update anything, to enter new weigh and measure information, what's the first tab you always come to in member records? The General tab, which contains the notes, which shows you the most recent note in the chronological order. So you're always seeing the most recent information. So it's really, really nice. Let's say Anna comes in and get a weigh and measure report. I click here, I see this note. Okay, I read it, go right past it, come over here to the Results tab. I start entering new measurements over here, and as I'm typing in, it's like, "Hey, by the way, how's your husband? How's he doing over there? I know it was nothing too serious, but is he convalescing okay?" Really, really good customer service, a nice way that the software helps you in order to do that. Now, attributes are yet another way that you can get to better know and better serve your members. Again, over here on the General tab, you see that this member has 2 attributes. She's a type 2 diabetic, and she's a student. Now, attributes, as I'm sure a lot of you know, just a real quick review, are free and unlimited in the iGo system. You can create as many attributes as you like. You can have an unlimited number combination of them assigned to each member. You can create your own, and you can assign them in any order. So, she's a type 2 diabetic. That's important to know from a medical situation, and also in case of an emergency. Obviously, it would be important to know she's a diabetic. Student, why do we have in there? Well, let's take a look. She's a student. She's taking continuing education classes. That's a good note to have in there. If she's under the student plan, and you might be thinking, well, Anna's a little bit of an older woman. Maybe somebody made a mistake. You know, she's not 18, 19, 20 years old. She's not a student. Did they put her in there by mistake? You'd say, "Oh, no, good for her. She's gone back to school. She's taking continuing education classes. She definitely qualifies as a student there." So that's a good attribute to have also. But let's take a look at an example of another attribute that would be good to have, not from a practical basis as far as her membership or a practical basis as far as her health, but as far as a human forms relation aspect, to get to know her better as a member and serve her better as a customer. What we're going to do is jump over here to the More Options menu and look at member attributes. And I'm going to create an attribute called, let's say, golf, because her favorite sport is golf. Right? Now, anytime that I have a member who I know likes golf, and I know Anna does, I'm just going to click on Edit, Add or Remove, and I'm going to add the golf attribute. There it is. Simple as that. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, well, why don't I just add a note to say Anna likes golf? Well, that's going to fall to the bottom of the list. Here in attributes, you're always going to be able to see it. And even more importantly, the iGo Figure system allows you to sort, organize, categorize, filter, run reports on, and even send an email communication directly to your members based on their attributes. So if you ever wanted to communicate with all your members who are golf players, I'll give you a great example of where you might want to do that. Let's say big golf tournaments come into town. You as a local business owner maybe have a few free passes or some discounted tickets, and you would like to send an email to your members who you know are golf fans, right? You don't want to be spamming your entire membership base to everybody who doesn't care about golf with some type of thing about free passes. People aren't going to be reading your email. So this allows you to target your communications to just those members who will appreciate reading or hearing about something. So, real quick wrap up here. In order to add an attribute, you come here to More Options, button number 8, Member Attributes. And then, when you want to add the attribute, you simply do it from the member record on the General tab, right here in the upper right corner, Members Attributes. You can add, you can remove, you can add custom notes to attributes, and again, you can run reports on, and you can email directly out of the system based on member attributes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about member photographs. You see that Anna's photo is right here, and it says here, click picture to edit. I've got this webcam that's open right here. If I close this for just a second, and then I say click picture to open, what you're probably going to notice is, hey, here I am again, because the same little web camera that I'm using to bring you this presentation, the same under $40 web camera, is the one that we sell so that you can have custom pictures taken of your members. So I'm actually not going to want to replace my photo here for Anna's, and I'm going to want to bring back up my image here. So let me go ahead and open that back up. Okay. With the custom photos, there's a lot of opportunity that you have, again, to improve member relations and really motivate your members. At first, member reaction might be negative to having their photo taken. Why do you need my photo? Why do I have to have it in your system and so forth? But let me give you a few tips on the member photo. Besides the fact that it greatly helps you with not only name-based recognition of your members, especially when a new member joins, especially when a new employee starts, it also helps you prevent unauthorized access, right? You can see somebody just giving out their key card because the name and the face don't match. But you can also use it to your advantage with your customers. Let me tell you a few little neat tips and tricks that we like to use. First of all, use it before and after. I always recommend that you take the very first photo when the member signs up, that is the member scanned-in photo, and save it somewhere on your disk. Just keep a file with member photos. You will obviously update the member's photo as time goes. So if you have a member who is now on their 1-year anniversary, let's say, or has just reached a significant weight loss goal, switch out their photo. Make it a surprise one. Put in their old photo from a year ago when they first joined. And I'll tell you, even though the photos are pretty much as you see here, pretty much, let's say, shoulders up or concentrating basically on the face, you can see the photo for Anna here. And these are just stock photos. Again, it's a sample database. I promise you, we're not looking at anyone's real record. But the point is, even with this limited amount of space, the camera will be able to show the weight loss, especially in the face, where you will see that maybe the chin is not quite as flabby, maybe the cheekbones have tightened up. I'll tell you, we've heard stories of members who were moved to tears when they scanned in on their 1-year anniversary, and they had a custom message. Welcome, congratulations on the year together. By the way, look at your photo. This is what you looked like a year ago. And you'd be in tears thinking how much progress they made. If you're involved in health and fitness or weight loss, for example. Certainly martial arts, this wouldn't apply much to. But you get the idea. If you have a member, let's say it's just gotten a new hairdo, colored her hair, has a new jacket or a new sweater, what an opportunity to say, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful, or that's such a beautiful sweater, I love your new hairstyle. Can I update your member photo? Members are going to love it. They love the fact that they've been complimented. They love the fact, hopefully they're going to be proud of the way they look, and they're going to love to have their photo taken. So you've taken the negative, which is, oh, I don't really want my photo in there, and made it into a positive. In fact, you might find that now they're coming to bug you every single time they get their haircut or a color or a new do, and they want their photo updated. And by the way, there's a real good way to take care of that, right? 3 free updates per month. After that, $5 for each new photo. I'm joking. But only halfway. You never know. Some member might be vain enough they want their photo taken every day. Hey, source of income for you. Okay, we're kidding around just a little bit, but I hope that you see, due to joking around, that it's something that members might really like, how you can really turn a negative, make it into a really strong positive, and make it a positive thing for your business. People start liking to come in. You've got something new, surprising, and exciting for them every day, whether it's a new member standing screen, whether it's their own photo that's new and updated all the time. Keep things fresh, keep things interesting. It's definitely one of the very important ingredients of success. Now, let's take a look at the advertising, member welcome screen in regards to advertising. All right, we keep coming back to this member welcome screen, and there's a very good reason for that. It's a high visibility piece of what we call real estate, computer real estate, place where something exists, no different than real estate. It's a space that everybody looks at, and it's got natural potential to help you in your business. What I'm going to do is go to the main menu. I'm going to go again to sign-in screen options, and I'm going to go here to the advertising tab, and you'll see that there's a place here to put a left ad, a right ad, and to disable the ad feature. I would like advertisements to be displayed on the welcome screen or not. If you do want advertisements to be displayed on the welcome screen, take a look at how quickly we did that. Advertise here, advertise here. All right, already I'm getting a couple of comments here saying advertise here. I know that's been a sore spot with you people because you didn't know what those words are or how to advertise here. And some of you looked in the training material, some of you called tech support and figured it out. But that's all it is. It's this setting right here. Check or uncheck, I would like advertisements. And once you check to do more advertisements, you can import a banner here, a 4x1 kind of horizontal strip banner. And you can put advertising here. Now, it doesn't need to be real advertising. You don't have to be selling something. You could be announcing an in-club promotion or special. You could be wishing your members happy holidays. Want them to know what their holiday hours are. You could be promoting a member's business. Let's say if you have a member at your facility, whether you're in health and fitness, martial arts, daycare, gymnastics, doesn't matter. Let's say you have a member who is a cosmetics representative or a real estate agent. This is somebody who would benefit from having their information viewed in a high-volume, high-traffic area of like-minded people. Help out your members, help out yourself. Now, how do you actually make the advertise here? That's a great question. And instead of answering it specifically, I'm going to answer this one a little bit by reference, because one of the things that I did promise you was that I was going to leave you with a way at the end of this session, or during this session at some point, that you could find out the training that's necessary so that you can get this information and these answers for yourself. So let me show you how to do that right now. I'm going to come over here to igofigure.com. And I'm going to jump over to the training tab over here. On the training tab, the second link down is the online iLearning Center. I'm not going to go through the entire training tab. There's a wealth of material here. Webinars, there's something over here called the Tech Support Corner. Tech Support Corner is a beautiful, wonderful, easy to use, extremely powerful tool. I suggest that you check that out some also. But in specific, I'd like to show you the online iLearning Center here. This contains training courses and reference materials on almost all of the iGoFigure software. So, if you want to learn, for example, how do I use the advertising sign-in screen feature, all you do is come over here to the bottom of the list. You see there's a course for that. ILC Course 203, Sign-in Screen Advertising, the powerful, useful advertising feature on the member welcome screen. And if you click on this button here, you can look at the chapters. You can download a summary, which you can see is a PDF file, or you can watch the video tutorial, which you can see is 4 minutes and 58 seconds long. Unlike the iCamps, which tend to be half an hour to an hour, we like to keep all of our training videos between 3 and 5 minutes. This allows us to keep a very narrow focus on exactly what we're teaching. It allows us to be respectful of your time and allows you to narrowly focus on exactly the knowledge and the information that you need. I promise you that in under 5 minutes, all of the pertinent information that you are going to need to make this member welcome screen advertising feature work is contained in there. It'll tell you the dimensions of the ad, the size of the ad, what format it needs to be in, what resolution it needs to be, and how to import it step by step. And it even gives you a few tips on ad design, what constitutes a good ad, what constitutes a bad ad, and it shows you a few samples. So I hope that you'll have seen it's we're halfway through the hour right now. Actually, we're more than halfway through our course. We're probably about 3/4 of the way through. Another 15 minutes, we'll wrap up. And I hope that what you've seen so far is the iGoFigure software has powerful features to help you run your business and powerful help and training features to help you run the iGoFigure system. Okay. A few more points, and then we're going to wrap up. I've shown you the member attributes feature. I'd like to show you something very powerful that the member attributes feature can help you to do to potentially help prevent people from quitting or canceling their memberships. What you do, go to member records here, and let's say that we have a given member, Ben Barrington. When they first sign up, add an attribute, and this attribute make it what we call, it's sometimes referred to as an X factor or an M factor. Some people call it the motivating factor. Some people call it the X factor or mystery factor. It's that one thing that is really, really causing a member to want to join your facility. What happens when somebody joins specifically health and fitness facility? What's the first thing you always tell them? Oh, I want to look better and feel better, right? And that's just an excuse. Everybody says that. And you start to dig down and you find out the real reason. They're having marital problems, let's say. Their spouse doesn't find them attractive anymore. Very personal thing to share, but when you're signing somebody up and you get down to that level of detail. And as my boss, Kyle, down at our company, started owning non-fitness centers, says, a member will sometimes break down in tears when they reveal their true motivating factor, X factor to you. Right? Maybe it's something like they have an upcoming reunion. You know, it's a high school reunion or college reunion, and they don't want to go looking the way they do now. They're too embarrassed. So they tell you they're joining to look better, feel better, but really it's that upcoming reunion. Create an attribute based on their X factor. In fact, call the attribute X dash and then whatever it is, and keep it right there. Now, if this member ever comes back at some later time and tells you that they would like to cancel their membership, you're like, okay, well, I'm really sorry. And you start pulling up the member record like you're just in the computer looking to cancel, and you'll see that attribute there. And as you tap, 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 it's like, you know, babe, by the way, let me ask you something. You did mention, you know, when you first joined here a few months ago that you had an upcoming reunion in a year, and that you were joining because you wanted to look the way that you wanted to look for that reunion, the way you wanted to be seen. And you probably see an emotional pause right there. You said, you know something, that reunion is only about 5 or 6 months away. I can promise you that I will stick with you and I'll work with you and I'll get you in the shape that you want to be in and looking like you want to look to go to that reunion. So let me ask you something. What else have you found that's going to work better or different? Or is anything going to work if you're just quitting and not exercising to get you to lose the way you want to look and look the way that you want to look by the time of your reunion? So often it can result in the difference between a lost member and not a lost member. Let me show you a little bit of a few quick tips and tricks on using this feature to actually create the attribute. So as we said previously, go to More Options, button 8, Member Attributes, and you add a new attribute. Like I said, start by calling it X dash and then whatever, right? It'll be reunion, whatever it was. Because that way, you don't get a bunch of crazy things. Spouse, reunion, whatever, and they're thinking, what are all these crazy words? Put X dash reunion, X dash spouse. That way they all come together alphabetically. Also, you immediately recognize what the attribute is. Second, don't try to become too specific. We see this a lot, and this is a lot of the questions that we get. Somebody has a reunion, the example I just gave. You know what, folks? There's high school reunions, college reunions, family reunions, worker reunions. It's a reunion, all right? It's the same thing, right? It's a meeting of people you have not seen in a long time. That's certainly understandable why you would want to look better, lose some weight, be in better shape before you see people you haven't seen in a long time. So just call it a reunion. It doesn't really matter whether it's high school, college, family, or anything else. It's a reunion. That way you don't have a million different ones. Now, when you put the attribute on the member's record, definitely put the note in there. Let me show you what I mean. Cindy Cantrell, edit, we'll add an attribute, and we will add the X-reunion attribute. There it is. Now I can add a note, and I can say, has a summer high school reunion, July 2012. Now you're putting in specific details, right? And this is the place really to capture that information, because if you ever want to send a motivating email out to everybody who has the reunion attribute, hey, we're glad you all are members here because you have an upcoming reunion. Of course, you have to remove that attribute after their reunion is over so you don't embarrass yourself, but you get the idea. You have to stay actively involved with your membership base and your software to use the power of these tools and features to help you. All right? So you have this here, and you could send the email to everybody. But if there was something specific, like Cindy was looking to cancel, you don't want to just have extra reunion and say, hey, Cindy, didn't you have a reunion of some kind or another coming up sometime or another? You really want to quit now? That's not a very motivating way of trying to get somebody to not cancel. All right? But if I just click here on the next reunion, has a summer high school reunion, July 2012. Okay, now you can say, hey, you know something, Cindy? I've been thinking about that reunion. Don't you have a high school reunion? And it's coming up in less than 10 months. Much better outset. You can really see to where having that information in there makes the difference. Okay, folks, we only have about 5 minutes left here. Please, if you have any questions, it looks from the list of questions here like I have been answering most of them as we've been going along. I apologize, I've not been calling out specific names as we've been going. The people have been asking these questions. A lot of you have had the same questions, and I see 3 or 4 questions. I've tried to put out the information that's been asked. But thank you for the great feedback that you've been giving us. Please, if you have any specific questions, try to organize your thoughts as I show these last couple of features in the next few minutes. And if none of you have any further questions, like I said, we will end at 1:15. Try to be respectful of your time. Let you get going about 15 minutes early. I certainly hope that you've gotten some good information from attending so far. So let's finish up with a couple of things. And the first one is, okay, Don Johnson is asking, can we have access to the club program at home? Absolutely. And there's several different methods by which you can do this. First of all, we allow you to install the iGo system on a certain number of computers. I believe it's up to 3 at no extra charge. You just need to fill out a piece of paperwork with it. So you can definitely have a copy of iGo Figure running at home. You can have a copy of iGo Figure running at your business. And you said in specific, can we have access to the club program at home? And yes, you can. There are several different ways by which those 2 copies of iGo Figure can share the same data. So you can see what goes on at the club. Obviously, it's all done over the internet one way or another, but there's several different ways. We have web hosted. We have remote desktop access. We have local network sharing. We have several ways that the iGo system can share its data among a few different copies of the software. So Don, if that's something that you're looking to do at your business, or if any of the others of you there would like access to the iGo system at home or from a remote location, please give us a call and we'll help walk you through that process. Now, I'd like to show you real quick the member weigh and measure report. Let's go to a member here who has a little workout history, Anna Appleton, and we'll go here to her results tab, and we'll say print the personal weight report. Now, there's an option that comes up when you do this that many of you who are familiar with this feature might have seen 100 times, and you just bypass it, right? What do you always use? Complete report with complete graph, complete report with complete graph. It's complete. It's the one that comes up by default. It's a nice, pretty graph with all the information. Maybe there's never a need to use the other ones. Let me explain you very briefly what these other two are. A large number of our customers are in health and fitness. If you are in gymnastics right now or martial arts, just bear with me real quick. We'll try to see if there's any value in this. Maybe in gymnastics you might measure also. I don't know. Maybe in martial arts you do. It would be a nice value-added service also. But one way or another, let me show you how this program feature is useful to you if you do weigh and measure members. You have options to compare the two most recent measurements, but have a most recent graph, or to compare the two most recent weights and measurements in a complete graph, in addition to the complete graph and the specific dates. When would this be useful? Why would you want to use it? That's what really matters, right? Let's take a look. First of all, let's say that a member has not been there very long, and you know when a person first joins, they're not losing a whole lot of weight initially, right? They might even gain a little bit initially, but then there comes that first point where if they've been good, attending regularly, following the diet, working out, they're going to start losing. What you want to do at that point is compare the two most recent measurements and graph, because you don't want to show them their whole history where they actually gained weight. You want to show them just that last month. When the graph goes down and the numbers go down. Congratulate them, send them on the way. Hugely motivating. Now, let's say that a person has been a member for a year, and they're one of these yo-yo things. You know, they make progress, they lose weight, they start to get in shape, they're doing great. What do they do as soon as they're in great shape? They don't come back, right? You know, they start to slack off. Next thing you know, they start to eat unhealthy, they're back to the junk food, they gain some weight, they come back in. And this is an ongoing process over a 6-month cycle for 2 years. That's when you come here to the two most recent measurements and complete graph. And you print this at one of those times when they've just made some progress, so they've lost some weight. So what you do is you show the two most recent measurements. So we'll call it that data field at the bottom. It's like the lost weight, you lost inches. Look at that. Isn't that great? But the graph that's on top then shows the complete story. Up, down, up, down, up, down. This is a beautiful document when you get it in your hand. This is where you get to turn a member around. I love these situations and hearing the stories of those situations, because this is the time when you pull the member aside, you print them a special report. You say, Anna, you know, we love you to death here, and we really want to be able to help you. Look at this piece of paper, right? Cover up the top half and just show her the result at the bottom. Congratulations, you lost weight. You've done it before. You did it this month. Let her feel great about herself. Let her see those numbers. How much weight did she lose? How much body fat percentage did she lose? How many inches did she lose on her body? Then show her the top half and say, but Anna, look at your progress here over the last 2 years. And I'll tell you, there's little like seeing the black and white reality in lines, numbers, charts, and graphs of your own body over the last year or 2 years. And you say, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. I printed these numbers to show you a microcosm of what you can do when you want to. If you can achieve this consistently instead of up and down, then your graph is going to look like this instead of like this. And you're going to be where you want, which is down here, instead of still right, center, average, somewhere right around here. And then talk to the member, work with them, and see what it takes to get them going. Okay, folks, Don and everybody else who has asked questions during this session, really, really appreciate it. I'd like to wrap up today's session, unless there's any more questions by the time I finish my wrap-up, by saying the following. GoFigure's been in business longer than I've been with the company. I've been with them 8.5 years. I think GoFigure's closing in on 15 years. And this company, my perception, time and again, has been shared with me, the positive feedback by our customers is that we truly, truly care about our customers. And I see that. I'm proud to be part of this team because I see that reflected in my coworkers, my colleagues here at GoFigure. We would like to be your software company. We would like to help you be successful in your business. We think that the iGoFigure system is an extremely powerful, cost-effective membership management solution. We know it's helped so many of you. As you take this time toward the end of the year to reflect and to plan for the coming year ahead, and you start to make decisions that will affect your business. Do I stay in business? How do I stay in business? What do I do in regards to my software? We hope that you'll think about what you saw in the last hour of this iCamp. If you're thinking of switching, we wish you the best, but we certainly hope that you will take the time to analyze your new software or whatever options you're thinking of going through to see, does it truly offer you this level of benefit, this level of functionality and power and ease of use? And most importantly, you might be thinking that you're saving your monthly license fee. going back to paper and pencil. Or however much of your monthly license fee, if you think you might have found some other software solution that's $10 cheaper per month, or 20 or whatever dollars cheaper per month. But start thinking to yourself, is it worth it? If I start using all of these features that I have seen in the last hour every day, can I build up my membership base? Will it more than pay for itself, the $20 per month difference on this software as opposed to any other, to have access to these benefits and these features to help me grow my business? And finally, if you do decide to leave over a few dollars per month and you're unhappy and you want to come back, how much time, how much trouble, how much data will you have lost as a result of not having used the iGo system? How complicated, and what is the opportunity cost going to be to come back onto the iGo system? We've welcomed so many customers back after they've left, after they've tried some other system. So we certainly hope that you have a lot of success in your business. We certainly hope that you would like to stay with us. We've got a couple final comments. Dawn is saying, thank you so much. Have been great for 11 years. Dawn, you've been with us longer than I've been with GoFigure. That's very commendable, 11 years. And she says, and I will continue to be with GoFigure. That's great. We love that. We appreciate hearing it. And we really appreciate all of your time. I sincerely hope that the last 45 minutes has been worth your while and that you got something out of it. We always welcome your feedback. Please send us an email at training@igofigure.com with your questions, your comments, your feedback, or just let us know however it is that we can help you better. We will definitely see you again before the end of the year, but I just want to say that we wish all of you the very best, and thank you so much.